Greetings, everyone, from the Pastor's Kitchen. This is video number 5 that I started when we began our 14-day mandatory isolation after our trip from Scotland. Today is day 11, and Pat and I are doing well and getting closer to our 14th day and looking forward to going for a walk at least. Very soon. Hopefully that all works out that way for us. Just wanted to start off our time together by showing you a very interesting poster that I have. It's actually not mine. It belongs to our son Nicholas. And two very recognizable characters, people, here. One who has passed away, Gordie Howe, and of course here's Wayne Gretzky. This is a color fast print. I think it's about 15 years ago, I'm not 100% sure, but around that time when our boys, Caleb and Nicholas, I think around 10 or 11 years old, attended a hockey camp in Sherwood Park. And they had some draws for the camp for the kids, and Nicholas won this poster. What makes this poster unique, first of all, is that it's definitely rare. But what makes it unique is not only the signatures here, Wayne Gretzky and Gordie Howe, but also the owner of the camp, the fellow that ran the camp, knew both of these gentlemen and was able to attain Gordie Howe's signature on this before he awarded it to Nicholas. He tried to get Wayne Gretzky's, but was not able to do that. So that makes it kind of unique. Then this is the Super Series 1979 in Edmonton, the World Hockey Association Super Series. I thought it'd be neat to just show you that. This is at our house right now because Nicholas is not able to come here and get it, and anytime he wants it, he can come get it. But I thought it would be an interesting item to show you that we have here as I was going through some stuff just recently. This morning, I was reading Psalm 9, and I just want to read a few verses from Psalm 9 to sort of start the ball rolling. The Lord reigns forever. He has established his throne for judgment. That's starting at verse 7, by the way. He will judge the world in righteousness. He'll govern the peoples with justice. The Lord is a refuge for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. Those who know your name will trust in you, for you, Lord, have never forsaken those who seek you. And this kind of brought up a question that I wanted to begin our conversation with here, is in what way is God our refuge? I guess maybe we should just define what a refuge is. Well, a refuge is a place of safety, a shelter that you can go to that provides protection from distress, from danger, from harm, from the elements, but it's a place of safety. And I just want to sort of tap into my past experience in the military. I joined the military in the 1980s. This was during a time, still during the Cold War era. I'm not going to get into the details of that, but it was basically the USSR and its satellite countries versus the West. So Europe and West here in North America. And annually, we would have an exercise. In the event of a nuclear war, we would have an annual exercise. All military personnel would be recalled back to the base, and we would go into shelters. A lot of this was simulated, of course, but we would go into shelters, and it's from that shelter, that place of refuge, that place that protected us primarily against nuclear fallout, the radiation after a bomb goes off, that we would perform our duties. And they would set up stations so that you would be dressed properly with all your PPE, and you would go out, you do your work, you come in, you decontaminate. And this is how we did our exercise annually. And that would include security, that would include everything, all operations, etc., etc. So the military personnel would be recalled, and we would have a place of refuge. But did you know that there is even a better kind of refuge? One that not only protects you from danger, but also provides peace in the midst of danger, in the midst of trouble. That's what Psalm verse 9:9 is pointing to, that kind of refuge. The Lord is a refuge for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. This is where God's people put their faith and trust in. And it's God who provides his people this kind of peace. The people of God put their faith and trust in God and his Son, Jesus Christ. So I hope this brings you some great comfort in the midst of our present crisis with the coronavirus that we find ourselves. But it's really just one side of a coin. The promise is there that God is our refuge and peace in time of trouble. But while that is true, the Bible also is very clear that it does not mean that harm will not come to a Christian. All people on this planet, including the Christian, will face danger, persecution, sickness, anxiety, fear, relationships breaking down, financial trouble, and the list goes on and on. This is the condition that we live in this world. All people, including the Christian. But this doesn't change the biblical truth that God is our refuge in times of trouble. And I want to sort of leave you with sort of three areas that I want to sort of address quickly here, because this is a huge topic, and I really can't offer it much proper work at it in 10 minutes of a video. But I do want to leave you with three sort of areas I want to talk about briefly. It should bring great comfort in the midst of our trouble today, and whatever else comes in our way in our life, that God is sovereign and in control of all events. Go to Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7, where we read, Isaiah writing the words of God, I form the light and create darkness. I bring prosperity and create disaster. I, the Lord, do all these things. Then we go into the Gospel of Matthew. And there we find in chapter 10, Jesus preparing his disciples, the 12 disciples, to go out and share the good news of the gospel. And then they would return with what happened. And in his preparation for them to go out, he says in chapter 10, verse 28 and following, do not be afraid of those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather be afraid of the one who can destroy both soul and body in hell. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them will fall to the ground, apart from the will of your Father. And even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. So don't be afraid, you are worth more than many sparrows. That's the first thing I want to leave you with. Second thing, and I mentioned this a few videos ago, that God uses all our lives, our trials and our temptations in life, to build our character, to bring greater endurance into our life. As I mentioned before, we're in a marathon, we're not in a sprint. And to grow our spiritual maturity, our trust and our faith in God. And we read in James chapter 1, verse 2 to 4, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Third point, God is our refuge and God is our peace. God is our peace in the midst of all our troubles. Jesus in the Gospel of John was preparing his disciples for his imminent arrest, his trial, his crucifixion, and then his resurrection. And he says this in John chapter 16, verse 33. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. So how can you attain this kind of peace in the midst of trials and tribulations and troubles? By putting your trust and faith in Jesus Christ, and then keeping your eyes fixed on Jesus. Hebrews says he's the perfecter of our faith. And we will make it to the very end of the marathon. So I just want to leave you with one more verse. Hopefully it encourages you as you go about your day today. The Lord is my rock. This is from Psalm 18, verse 2. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. My God is my rock, in whom I take refuge. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. So as we conclude this time together, I pray for you that you would turn to the Lord, who can be your refuge and your time and your peace in the midst of trials and tribulations. And also when life is good. God never changes. God never changes. He's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So I hope that you guys are all well. Pray for each other. Take care of each other. If you can, help someone. I would ask you, if you can, if you're healthy and able to go and donate blood. If you've never done that before, call Canadian Blood Services and make an appointment and give blood. There's a greater need now than ever before. So I just want to share that with you. And would you also do me a favor? Not only take care of yourself, but if you can and you see this this video and you think it's worth it, please share it with your friends, share it, pass it on, and hopefully it'll be helpful for other people. So until we meet again, God bless you, and may his face shine upon you, and peace be with you. Amen.